Alright, hello and welcome to Fadi Rules Week 3. Unfortunately, when I first recorded this, my OBS decided that my capture card was my default microphone, so we're going to be getting a post-com of this week, but let's go over what the weekly rules were this time. So, ignore the spoilers, we're in week like 5 or something, but this week we have Bowser's Castle, which is the Mariomon format, which we have to replace one of our Mons on our team with a Mariomon with the exact same typing. Fadi, our Great Protector, where Fadi banned 2 classes and declared 2 classes that everyone had to bring. He banned Knight and Barbarian and forced everyone to bring Monk and Druid, I believe. And then Banhammer, which is a little confusing to talk about, but you'll see a little bit more in the battle. Basically, every Pokemon has the name of a move in their name, and the second that that Pokemon is sent out, neither player can use that move for the rest of the battle. The Mariomon that I ended up going with, I had a few options. There's like Gushin, which is kind of broken. There's Sylveon. The Maw-Ray or something, like the big eel guy. That's one that I probably should have picked, but I ended up going with Sylveon, because Pixelate Boomburst is very good. Or Birdo, who replaces Sylveon. But yeah, that's the weekly twist. As for the encounter, again, ignore the spoilers. This one was a little bit complicated. It was Ultimate Fusion, so everyone takes 2 of their Pokemon under 10 points and fuses them into one Mon that shares a type from each of the Mons. You were allowed to go over the point limit with this one. I did not. I fused off my Tatsugiri and Orthworm for Sliggoo. So Steel type from Orthworm, Dragon type from Tatsugiri, give me Orthworm. And then the other Mon, the big thing about this one is that you can get a Mon from anywhere into a certain class. So Sliggoo already would have been a tank, but the other Mon that joined me on our team is Porygon Z in the Monk slot. So there's an encounter that will give Crobat its ability, so Adaptability Crobat isn't bad, and then also I can pass a move from the Monk to someone else potentially later. So probably like Thunderbolt or Ice Beam. Ignore this line of text here. This is in the future. That doesn't exist yet. But yeah, so we ended up not going for the go into the negatives crazy amount route, and just got 2-point Sliggoo and 8-point Porygon Z. This week we were up against I think it was LS, yeah. We're up against LS, so their Paraffire, Garchomp, and their Iron Valiant were banned, which is pretty good for us, and then their Force Ring, Pikachu, and Brambleghast. I expected them to bring Heath-Ho, given that their only other options are like Lakitu for Corviknight, or Poison Spiny, or whatever it's called for Clodsire, but these 2 Mons are like really good, especially against me, so it's almost definitely going to be Heath-Ho replacing Pikachu, unless it's like Weird Virus, but Weird Virus is not all that good, so yeah, that's this week. I will see you guys in the battle for postcom. Bye. Alright, here we are in the battle. Like I said, pretty much completely everything as expected. There's no Darkrai, which I kind of expected to see, but all things considered, I had like these 7 Mons in mind, and they brought obviously only 6 of them, so let's just start getting into the battle here. Oh, right, I guess I can go over the moves that I banned. So, I banned... Okay, paused. I banned Spikes, Chiyu's Earthquake, Ferrothorn... You know, this was too long ago, I don't actually remember. We'll just go with them as we start. So, yeah, I was debating between Spikes or Toxic Spikes here, but I figured Brambleghast probably doesn't have a lot that it wants to do other than like Strength Sap and set up Spikes, so that's why I went with that. This PZ is Specs, so that's why Boomburst did so much. I figure I can just fire off another one We get pretty lucky here with the burn. That's pretty big for us. Ferrothorn our dedicated physical wall switches in, and they bring in Clodsire, which sets up toxic spikes, and suddenly I regret not banning toxic spikes. You know, I have 2 Mons that are immune, and I think Chiyu has boots, so that's not the worst in the world, but it's still very annoying. Yeah, I decided to start setting up. I figured that this thing would probably try and come in. If it did, it would Strength Sap. Worst case scenario, I go back down to neutral and deal a bunch of damage with Gyro Ball. And I don't want it healing up to full, so I switch back into Sliggoo to eat that attack. Sliggoo doing some respectable damage against Tifo. I was a little bit afraid of it using a fighting move here, like a throw move, so I go into my fairy type, but they just full switch out, so. And now with Boom Burst banned, this thing is not that good. It's okay, obviously, or else I wouldn't have brought it. Here they're questioning why I'd banned Surf over Scald. You guys can't see. I said it's because it overlaps with Pika if they decide to bring that. And also it's just stronger than Scald, I guess. Scald's a little bit too obvious of a ban as well. But yeah, here we have them bringing in Weavile on my Ferrothorn, which how did this exactly go up? So right, they switched straight into Weavile, which I feel like is kind of crazy, no? From Pharaoh, like if I just Gyro Ball, then this thing dies, but I guess they were expecting me to not go for that, or to curse, I don't know. Either way, they natural gift and it crits me, which one-shots. Very unfortunate. This thing is like impossible for them to deal with otherwise. Like they have Flamethrower probably on Slowbro, and that's literally it. Like genuinely, I don't see another way for them to remove Ferrothorn other than this crit. So yeah, that was super unfortunate for us. We bring in Chiyu because it's Scarf, not Boots, obviously. Do like almost no damage. And here they click a move that is already banned. So I sent this thing out, which banned Earthquake, and then they ended up clicking it later. We deliberated, waited for other people to weigh in, other mods, but there wasn't really consensus before a whole bunch of time passed, so I figured that we would just play it out and then decide after. We ended up just going with the final result. We figured like this one interaction of dealing 15 damage wasn't that big. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have changed the outcome of the battle. We can go more into it once you see what the outcome is, but yeah, so now that Earthquake is banned, Sliggoo is free, and I figured last time they kind of read the switch, so this time I'll just stay in and take the kill. I let Burrow go down. Dark Pulse is banned, so we go for Snarl, which does almost half. This thing is now doing like almost no damage. Clodsire, disgusting monster that it is, takes like no damage. And now here's another like kind of gray area, but we ended up allowing it, is that they have Rest Talk, so like you're not allowed to intentionally pick the banned move, but you know, you're not in control of what you Rest Talk into, so even though you're fishing for the banned move, it's not like technically clicking it. So this thing, especially now that Ferrothorn is gone, I just have like almost no way of breaking through it with 4 special attackers left. This was another reason why I was thinking, literally right before the battle started, that I should have brought Mare instead of Birdo, because it's another physical attacker. And it matches up like decently well into some of their mons. But yeah, it's honestly, I feel like you guys can probably tell that this game is mostly over. Everything is poisoned. They have Clodsire that can tank just like almost any hit, and Corviknight. I think the game really ended when Ferrothorn got crit. I didn't realize that, like, I completely forgot that Natural Gift or whatever is even a move to begin with, much less that it would do that much damage from Weavile onto my max defense Ferrothorn, but it was a good prep, finding a obscure way to out Ferrothorn on a team that otherwise had almost no fire moves, so good on them for that. It's just really sad that I had to go out to a crit on literally my best mon. You know, we're clawing it back, taking a kill or two, but in the end, it was just too much. The rest top Clodsire was too hard to break through, so yeah, GG's to LS, and a bit of a weird week with them accidentally breaking the rule and me playing horribly. Like, the crit was big, but I also just didn't play very well. Like, the early turns were not all that good on my part, and they definitely took advantage of it and were rewarded with that crit, so yeah, that's okay though. We'll bounce back in the future. It was still fun. It was fun to see all the different Mariomons, to see all the different options, and excited for next week, so I will catch you guys then. Bye!